This video is brought to you by Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist, my new book, which is a comprehensive guide to all aspects of music theory necessary for playing rock guitar. From blues to the cycle of fifths, from understanding and using modes to choosing the right notes for a melodic solo, from pentatonic scales to chord construction and keys. It's all covered in a clear and concise manner. With accompanying video demonstrations, jam tracks and tabs, you'll learn to use the knowledge you gain in accessible ways that make sense for less than the cost of a few guitar lessons. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, you may recall a few weeks ago I did one of these viewers' question videos with Johnny from Budget Guitar Show, where I was basically kind of coaching him through his first steps in playing lead guitar. And it got a really rather nice response from you, my loyal viewer. And first of all, I want to say a big thank you to Johnny for taking part in that and helping me make the content, and hopefully what he learned on that day, has helped him since as well. But I got a really positive feedback from doing that video, and lots of requests to do something of a similar nature, or more of a similar nature in future. So that's what we're doing today. What we were dealing with in that initial video that I did with Johnny was all about where to find the notes on the neck to play, a kind of credible sounding solo. It was basically a kind of first introduction to the pentatonic scale. That's all we really did, was the scale aspect of it. This is where you put your fingers, and this is what the notes sound like, and this is how it fits with the key and all that sort of stuff. What we didn't really delve into in any meaningful way was all about the phrasing, what you actually do with that scale once your fingers can kind of walk up and down the scale. And given that, as I said, I've had a few requests to do more on this topic, I thought that would be an ideal place to pick up the threads. So here's a little bit of a solo where I'm using the pentatonic scales that I went through with Johnny, plus like one or two other fingerings as well. And it's all about the phrasing today, how I'm grouping the notes together, how I'm kind of making it not sound like I'm just running up and down a scale. It sounds like this. And here's a little bit of an explanation about, how I'm thinking when I'm putting those phrases together from the notes of the scale. What I'm doing, in other words, to make it not sound like I'm just playing a scale.
Here is the explanation.
Okay, so the first thing to remember is don't just kind of ramble. Don't play endless strings and volleys of notes that seem to kind of never have an ending or go anywhere. You need to be thinking in terms of short little groups of notes that we call licks, or phrases like this one that I began with. something like that. It's short, it's memorable. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create something that is memorable. So, well, here's an illustration. I do this with me students a lot of the time. Repeat the following string of numbers: 4, 5, 9, 3, 12. It's easy, isn't it? 4, 5, 9, 3, 12. Now repeat the following string of numbers: 4, 5, 9, 3, 12, 87, 93, 56, 88, 315, 98, 112, 17. So, I mean, it's much longer, it's difficult to remember. And that's what your strings of notes can end up sounding like if you just kind of ramble on and on and on and on, okay? So, short, little groups of notes like that, and then leave a pause after it and allow it to breathe. It's also worth talking about where you begin and end those phrases, if you can kind of sense this or count it. It tends to work best if you play these little short groups of phrases, short groups of notes, kind of straddling the bar line. So if I'm kind of counting in terms of beats in the bar, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, like that. You see, it's starting in one bar and concluding in the next bar. That can take a little bit of practice with a metronome to perfect that technique, but it's worthwhile pursuing because it tends to make the phrases that you play sound stronger. It just, even the same group of notes played with a slightly different relationship to where the beats are in the bar won't necessarily sound quite as good. So, short groups of notes in phrases with gaps between them. Try and keep abreast of the bar line. Then we come into repetition. That's another important part. Did you notice how many times in that little solo I went like that? It was one I kept returning to, and you can move it up an octave like that. Just move it further up the neck into like the octave position or anywhere in between. Even something like that where you're playing the similar phrase da 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 da, okay, but with just maybe different notes. Or like that. It's all got that same sort of rhythmic shape, which will make it sound somehow connected and like it's got, it's part of the same family of licks and therefore memorable. Then we come on to a little thing that's often talked about, sometimes called question and answer or call and response. And this is where you can just kind of vary things up a little bit. So, you could take this basic lick, and then after it, after a pause, something like that. And then go back to, and then maybe something like that, a different phrase. You don't have to worry about repeating those, because we've already got this kind of thing or whatever it was as the main sort of repetitive engine of what's going on. Then contrast as well. There's a part in that backing track where it comes down to a D chord like that, because normally it's kind of going all that sort of stuff, and then there's a part in the track where it goes like that. Okay, so when it's going to that chord there, do something that contrasts. I think again what I did here was repeating again, repetition, and then. But once again, you can hear individual short phrases that I'm repeating, which makes them sound familiar and therefore memorable to the listener, and, contrasting with, sounds different to that, okay? But again, you're setting up a couple of different ideas that the listener can latch onto and, kind of become familiar with. And if they become familiar with it, they remember it. You played something that sounds memorable or catchy, which is just the musical term for memorable. So avoid playing long strings of notes. Use repetition. and use a little bit of that call and response. Let's have another look at that. So, I could go and then go. Like that. Just all of those kind of things just seem to naturally hang together, and this is the glue that's kind of holding it together and making it all make sense. And you're getting the call and response, you're getting the phrases. Remember, as I say, try and kind of straddle the bar line if you can, and just add a little bit of contrast when you hear the backing track go to a slightly different section. Just try a different hook or motif, as we call these memorable little ideas. So there you go. Just try a few of these ideas out and, see what you can do with them. And go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for that solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it. That explanation you've just seen there, and the jam track to play along with for yourself, all of that is, as always, up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. $3 or £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. Thank you so much, everyone. It is truly, truly appreciated. But that is the video for today, folks. Hope you found it useful and informative and hopefully entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 p.m. UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and all manner of stuff. Great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.